what is an annuity? Tell me how that works.
Okay, well, an annuity, which in the old days was pretty much the only option,
Yeah.
is where you hand over your pot to an insurance company,
Yeah.
and they will give you a rate per thousand. So very crudely, back of an envelope, which is an expression I use, if you had a pot of about £1 million, very crudely, that could get you about £60,000.
So like a 6% annuity rate.
Very crudely.
Yeah.
But what I stress is really important is there's something called an open market option, where you can hawk your £1 million around the market. And mentioning no names, but company X might give a better rate than Y, and company Z might give a better rate than all of the other three.
Yeah.
Because the existing provider will always tell you what they will offer, but by law, they must allow you to look elsewhere.
Okay.
And I would encourage that.
So a big tip for everybody, going to stare at this camera for this, big tip for everybody is don't just buy the annuity from your current provider, shop around, yes?
Absolutely right.
Okay, so I've shopped around. Is there anything about me that could make my shopping more advantageous?
Yeah, I was going to mention that it depends very much, and people often laugh when I say this, it depends where you live. Postcode is very important, because you would actually get a better annuity rate if you lived in central Glasgow than rural Dorset, purely because on the stats, your longevity is much shorter.
Yes.
The other thing that can influence is your health. So height, weight, smoking, high blood pressure, etc. Ironically, if you're worse off health-wise, you should get a better annuity. And over the years, I've seen up to 40% what they call an enhanced annuity rate.
Okay.
So it's definitely worth getting advice and shopping around.
So when we're buying life insurance when we're younger, we don't tell the insurer all that stuff. We kind of downplay. It's not fraud, by the way, but we sort of downplay it. This is the time where you should do the opposite of that. You need to tell them everything.
You need to be completely honest and tell them absolutely everything about your medical situation, and they can seek independent medical advice. So, you've got to be upfront with them.
You're signing a declaration. And
You're signing a
if you lie, it's
declaration.
fraud.
Absolutely.
Okay. And what about if I was a smoker?
If you're a smoker, you will get enhanced rates.
Okay. So move to central Glasgow, take up smoking.
And drink heavily.
And drink heavily, and declare everything about you that's wrong. And in fact, the more that's wrong with you, the better. Gets you the better rate.
Gets you the better rate.
Okay. And then if I've got an enhanced annuity, some people go, oh, yippee, I've got more money. It's not really a yippee, is it? Because they think they think I'm going to die sooner.
The reality is, yes, they will, because it's all done in statistics.
And you're getting your money back over a short period of time, which is why you get more.
Correct.
Okay. So if I did get an enhanced rate, my challenge then is to absolutely change my lifestyle, be healthier, and beat the statistics and live longer. And I've got more money for longer.
Correct. And possibly move to a rural location for cleaner air.
Or move to somewhere like Madrid, where the air quality would be amazing and lots of fresh fruit and, all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So that is if I was buying an annuity. And I think annuities almost died on the shelf, didn't they, when interest rates came down and everyone was really into drawdown, which we'll come on to in a second.
Yeah.
But it's actually quite attractive again for people. What's going on in the market in the world right now that's made that happen?
Well, interest rates are very key. Bonds, gilt rates, etc. help. And they just continually review the market to make sure that people are getting value for money, but they don't lose out on the whole. But one thing I would like to mention about annuities is people often say to me, well, that's okay, but when I die, that's the end of it. Well, actually, that is true, but you can build in what's called a 5 or a 10-year guarantee, which means if you draw it for 1 year and you then die, they'll pay the balance either for 4 years or for another 9 years. Alternatively, or you can actually get a spouse's pension or dependent's pension, and that would be typically 50%. But if you're single, no dependents, you might think, well, I don't really care when I die because I just want to get the highest possible rate for me whilst I'm alive.
Okay, love that. So that's annuities.
Yep.
There's a lot more about annuities that people need to learn, but this is just a shortish kind of, summary.